NAPLAN, the National Assessment Program, Literacy and Numeracy, Captain's Chronicle. Before we begin this presentation, I would like to do an acknowledgement of country. We respect and honour Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander elders past, present and future. We acknowledge the stories, traditions and living cultures of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples on this land and commit to building a brighter future together. How do parents think their children feel about NAPLAN? NAPLAN is a standardised national assessment method for students in Years 3, 4, 7 and 9. The tests are conducted annually in May. Reading, writing, spelling, grammar and punctuation are assessed in the NAPLAN. Being that we're exploring the text Captain's Chronicle, I will explore English within today's presentation. Through this, we'll decipher how your child's current level of reading and writing is supported through literacy, language and literature components already taught within the school curriculum. After this presentation, I hope you can walk away and help prepare your child for NAPLAN by reassuring them that the tests are just one part of the school's program. English within the Australian curriculum aims to assist students to engage imaginatively and critically with literature to expand their range of experiences. It is through the use of English that students learn to analyse, understand, communicate and build relationships with others and the world around them. In short, English plays an important part in developing the understanding, attitudes and capabilities of those who will take responsibility for Australia's future. English within the Australian curriculum is built around the three interrelated strands of language, literature and literacy. NAPLAN's reading conventions of language and writing tests and assesses your child's development of knowledge, understanding and skills across these three strands. NAPLAN is not a test that you can study for. The questions presented are based on the knowledge, understanding and skills gained from prior years. From the data received back from NAPLAN regarding your child's performance, this gives the school a clear understanding of student learning. We will now explore how comprehension is supported through Captain's Chronicle. To align with ACELY 1680, Captain's Chronicle supports the skills and knowledge for students in Year 3 as they learn to imply inferred meanings as they analyse the text. At this level, students can determine important ideas, events or details in text by commenting on things learned. Students will be able to acknowledge how the text convinces the reader to apply for the position as a captain through features such as exaggeration and catchy names. This component is taught within the Australian curriculum. As students progress to Year 4, to align with ACELY 1692, their reading becomes more fluent. By students developing their fluency, this aids in being able to read independently. Within Captain's Chronicle, students will be able to use prior knowledge and vocabulary to decipher adjectives within the text such as "you must be brave" and "fearless." Students can link the features of the text and infer what type of text is presented. To align with ACELY 1703 within Year 5, students will know how to use their research skills, which include identifying research purposes, locating skills, gathering and organising information, all of which has been developed over previous years of learning. By applying all their prior skills and knowledge, students will be able to recognise that the text presented is a persuasive text. Now we will explore how features within text is supported through Captain's Chronicle. To support ACELT 1599 within Year 3, students will be able to identify how text features construct meaning. Learning these features will allow for the progression of understanding the features of the text outlined within Captain's Chronicle. To support ACELT 1605, students within Year 4 will know how to identify pivotal points. Taking this into consideration, the language and dialogue used, students will be able to determine what "but remember" is signalling. Lastly, To align with EDU30010, students within Year 5 are equipped with the skills and knowledge to examine text written from different narrative points. Students in Year 5 can look at the features such as the setting, mood and theme and plot. From this, students will be able to determine what "but remember" is signalling based on the type of narrative. Students will be able to explore textual clues by considering the harbinger. This means a sign of things to come. Lastly, I will explore how figurative language is supported through Captain's Chronicle. To align with ACELT 1600, students in Year 3 will know how to identify the effect of imaginary text. This is achieved through figurative meaning. Poems are utilised within the classroom to introduce students to examples of similes and metaphors. Students are not expected to know Captain's Chronicle at this age, as they are only beginning to make connections between metaphors and similes. To align within Year 4 ACELT 1606, students begin to learn how to play and explore with words, and how they are used by authors to create a sense of freshness and originality. This is where students will begin to understand metaphors. Within Captain's Chronicle, students can decode the metaphor and apply the correct answer by analysing key words within the text such as rigging, steering and reading. Lastly, to align with ACELT 1611, students in Year 5 will know how to confidently discuss and identify figurative language features including similes and metaphors, and how it provides new ways of looking at the world. Not only does this follow in figurative language, but it also aligns with comprehension. Through this, they will consider the spoonerisms, neologisms and puns identified within the text that convey vivid imaginary. So why do we need assessment strategies? In short, having assessment strategies in place allows for teachers, parents and carers to establish and understand where learners are in aspect of their learning at the time of assessment. It will clarify what learners know, understand and can do, and highlights what is needed to progress the learner to the required standard achievement. As discussed before, NAPLAN is the annual national assessment for all students in Years 3, 5, 7 and 9. Having NAPLAN as a standardized assessment serves the function of a diagnostic tool for schools and systems. That is, it enables the identification of problems in the educational system over time and a means for evaluating potential solutions. There are many benefits to NAPLAN. The content is strongly linked with the Australian curriculum. It allows states to compare peer results and to also discover areas that need improving within the systems. It also allows for formative and summative assessments. From this, NAPLAN data can be used to identify students who are underperforming and in need of extra help at school. This ensures that they do not fall behind in literacy and numeracy. It can be used the same way on the class, school, state and territory and national levels. The limitations present within NAPLAN is that it is only done once a year, and that a high amount of pressure can be placed on students. Another assessment tool that can be used is English Online Interview, EOI. This assesses the speaking and listening, reading and writing capabilities of students from the foundation year to Year 2. It is a mandatory assessment tool for schools in Victoria. Benefits of using this tool includes that it supports teachers by providing the tools to interpret, identify, measure and address capability gaps. It also monitors student progression in one or more modes of English. The tools are designed for students progressing towards Victoria Curriculum Foundation level, but they are divided into 3 levels: beginner, progressing and progressing towards. The scores will enable teachers to track student progression from previous years. And lastly, the one-to-one nature of the program allows for teachers to consider the needs of individual students. Limitations presented within this tool is that data is limited to teacher viewing, and it can only be assessed during set assessment periods at the start of each year. Let's now explore tools to enhance assessment literacy, or TEAL. This is for students who learn English as a second language. TEAL allows for formative and summative assessments. It also assists teachers to cater for the English language learning of their students within mainstream programs. It offers a range of texts including fiction and non-fiction, and the difficulty is adjusted and determined by the student's data based on previous modules. The limitations within this program is that scores are only given as a high, intermediate and low. This does not provide accurate data, and learning content is not structured. Additionally, it only focuses on reading and writing while dismissing other literacy substrands such as comprehension and inferring.